Yeah.
What's up, guys? It's Ben and Bryan show. I am Ben,
And I'm Bryan.
and we're giving to you guys our week 4 pick'ems. Uh, it's basically we'll start off with how week 3 went. It's kind of odd games here, some surprising winners. I, if you watched our last video, I fared not so great, not that great. 9 is not ideal for me, but Bryan did a little bit better. How'd you do?
10, motherfucker.
10. He got 10. As you can tell, I started off talking a lot of shit on the Thursday night football game, and the Dolphins silenced me by finally winning a goddamn game.
That was an ass whooping. What are you talking about, boy?
And once again, old Falcons come back to their old form, giving up big-ass leads to Big Dick Nick, who rallied the Bears back to the win. And then we had a sham of a damn game, the damn Bengals and Sheagles. How you guys going to go to a draw? Come on. You cost me a win.
The thing
Or
that
just to
pissed
give you
me off the most about that game was like the Eagles were in, field goal range, and then one of their offensive linemen freaking moved, and then so it put them out of field goal range. So they decided to punt it, and then on the Bengals first drive, they just downed it. Ran the clock out. Like, did he want to try to fucking throw it like just a Hail Mary bomb? Just maybe. You never know. Look at what the Miami Dolphins did a few years ago with the Miami Miracle game. You think that we had to score a touchdown in order to win that game, but no, we decided to fucking lob it and fucking run that bitch in for a touchdown to win that game.
They at
Like,
least tried.
how the hell can you coach your
Try.
team to fucking lose? That doesn't make any goddamn sense at all.
Yeah, there's this video that I saw on Facebook. It was pretty funny. This Eagles fan, his old lady's off camera. She's the one recording him. He's like got a suitcase and he's zipping it up. She's like, "Where are you going?" "I'm going to get our quarterback back." Going to get Nick Foles.
I've seen that one.
That was pretty funny.
Michael Vick.
Panthers finally won a game. Congratulations. Odd that you're Christian McCaffrey list and won a game. The Lions surprisingly beat the Cards. That was a shocker. Who would have thought? Especially in Arizona. And that's pretty much all the surprises. I mean, the Chiefs-Ravens game that just happened here on Monday night. I mean, it's not surprising. I kind of thought the Ravens would win on their own home turf, but the Chiefs are a pretty solid team. So, I mean, it's not really too shocking that they won. Okay, so now we got that out of the way. We're going to kick off our picks, and it's going to be a little bit different for you guys. We're going to release these individual. That way you can just go on the team of your choice, your favorite one that you want to know, or if you want to figure out the game of the week, you can just run to that video and watch it without having to listen to our bullshit for an hour long. But I think we're funny, but if you don't, we'll help you out. All right, so kicking this off with the first game, it is a dud of a game, I feel. Both winless teams on a Thursday. What a boring Thursday this is going to be. Probably a lot of non-viewers. We got the Denver Broncos traveling to MetLife Stadium to take on the Jets. Bryan, who do you pick?
Well, like I said before we came on air, I feel like this game is going to be a trap game. I think the Broncos might, feel like, oh, we're going in as they're an injured team, but they look like the better of the two injured teams, I should say. But I don't know, man. It's so hard because I know once I say Denver, the Jets will probably end up putting like 40 on them, knowing my luck. But even with that being said, I'm still going to go with the Broncos in this game. I think they can still manage to put up points against that lackluster offense and defense of the Jets. So I don't look at it to be a very high scoring game, but I think that the Broncos will come out on top on this game. So hopefully they'll win.
Yeah. So yeah, Broncos are pretty injury plagued. But the Jets, I think they're only down Le'Veon Bell, aren't they? I think that's the only big major loss. I mean,
Yeah.
besides their off-season losses.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say that
say
Denver is gonna go ahead and get their first W because the Jets suck.
Well, I was also going to say too that reports have come out that if the Jets lose this game, Adam Gase is fucking done.
Supposedly,
It was Bleacher
it's
Report.
probably a strong look, but yeah. I mean, hopefully it is. I mean, for the Jets' sake. Yeah. Jet his ass out of there, you goddamn Jets.
Morons. Fucking stupid morons.
All right, moving on. All right, guys, we are moving on to the next game. We have the better-looking Indianapolis Colts traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears. The Bears. Your thoughts, Bryan?
The Bears. Big Dick Nick coming in there and fucking playing as well that he did against the choking Falcons back-to-back fucking weeks, and they choked away both games. I don't know how the fuck they did it, but they just managed to fuck it up. I don't know. The Bears, they seemed like they were in rhythm. Like, you could definitely tell a difference between Mitch Trubisky coming in and playing quarterback and then Nick Foles coming in and playing quarterback. Two completely opposite teams. I still think that the Colts are the better of the two teams. Bears have a hell of a defense, but so don't the Colts. So I'm going to take the Colts on this one. It'll probably come back to bite me, but I got to go with the more veteran quarterback of the two. So back to you, Ben.
Old Philly Ribs. He's not looking as good as I thought. I mean, he's not looking terrible, but I thought he was going to light that shit up. The Colts defense looks pretty solid. Like I kind of predicted in the offseason, I did say the Bears are going to have pretty good D. I mean, obviously it's known now old Mitch is benched for Big Nick, so it looks like they're going to get the much rest that they need to play better. But still, I mean, I think Colts are the more complete team. So, yeah, I'm going to look for them to go into the Windy City and take out Chicago. But that doesn't take anything away from old Big Dick Nick. I think he is going to be the remainder starting quarterback for the rest of the season for those guys. The better choice, the smarter choice. They finally did it. And that's it for them. All right, guys. Now we are on to the second game of Sunday, and that is two Pussycats because they're kind of crapping out here and not playing so well. Not a very good teams playing. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. All right, Bryan.
Well, Jaguars were the only team that actually held Gardner Minshew to having less than 3 touchdowns in a game or whatever. I mean, obviously, it's third week of the season or whatever, so it's kind of hard to really determine that. But I think the Jaguars will bounce back this week. Although the Bengals look decent, but they let the fucking Eagles come back on them and fucking tie it up to take it to overtime, which neither team could do fucking absolutely anything during overtime.
You just said the Jaguars held Gardner Minshew to less than 3 touchdowns?
I meant my Dolphins. Sorry, my bad.
I said get it together.
Day, dummy.
Fuck. The Jaguars held Gardner Minshew to less than 3 touchdowns. What?
See, you should be happy because then you get more fucking sound bites when I fuck up because I'm just fucking god awful tired. But anyways, the Dolphins held the Jaguars to less than 3 touchdowns in the season or on the season so far for the weekly games. So, anyways, I'm taking the Jaguars. There, fuck it, send it in. I'm too fucking tired for this shit.
There it is. Ain't you tired? Shut the fuck up. All right, so yeah, let's go on that. They held Jaguars back. I think the Bengals are better offensively. I mean, that's hard to say because James Robinson is doing very well for a running back that was undrafted coming in there, taking over.
He had 2 touchdowns for that game.
As the leading back for the Jags. But still, they were DJ Charkless last game. I don't know if he's back or not, but Bengals got a better offense. They're both pretty shitty on defense. So I went ahead and went with the Bengals for the W. What the fuck are you trying to say? Why you keep trying to interrupt me all the goddamn time? Shut the fuck up for a second.
I'm not trying to interrupt you. I choked on my fucking Gatorade, dickhead.
It's always like, wait a minute.
Oh, I almost had a moment when you were fucking dying on one of our very first podcasts that we were doing on the phone, but not fucking video. That was one of the funniest fucking shit I've ever heard in my life.
All right. So, the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow gets his first win, boosts his confidence enough to probably lose next week. Moving on. All right, the next game of Sunday, we have the Browns, the poopy Browns. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Browns fans. You know, if you watch my other podcasts, all of ours, I shit talk Browns a lot. They're traveling to Arlington to take on the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas Cowboy Stadium. Bryan, take her away.
Well, it's kind of weird, you know. Like you would think, going into the season, you would kind of think that the Cowboys would be the 2-1 team and the Browns would be the 1-2 team, but that's not the case this season so far. The Browns are 2-1 and the Cowboys are 1-2. So it's just kind of a weird situation, you know, like something I wasn't expecting so far this season. But,
well, I think the Cowboys had a tougher schedule than the Browns.
Oh yeah, no, and I completely understand that. I'm just saying, like, usually the fucking whenever you hear the Browns, you always think, oh, and whatever, you know, you don't expect them to win more than 2 games this season, so especially not this early in the season. With that being said, I still think the Cowboys will probably come out there and just dominate them. I don't think the Browns are going to be able to hang with them, even though I hate the Cowboys with a fucking passion. I just think that, you know, I mean, look at what they did against the Seahawks. I mean, they were fucking moving the ball all over on them, and that was a really good fucking game like we both projected it would be. I think they won by 8 points or something like that, the Seahawks did, or was it 7? I can't remember. But it was a good fucking game. Cowboys had a chance to win it at the end, but they didn't. So I think they bounced back this week, and they'll win big over the Browns.
Yeah. Like we were saying before when we made a top 10 projections of quarterbacks, we said, you know, Dak's definitely going to be a top 10 quarterback. We didn't put him in the list because he didn't sign his franchise tender at the time. So that was early fantasy projections. That's why we put early, because it was back to the training camp era before they even decided to cancel all the preseasons completely. As you guys know, I hate the Cowboys as well. I am a Cowboy hater. But they are more well-rounded team. The Browns still look good on paper, player-wise, but I just don't think their quarterback's still strong enough to overcome this challenge. I think Cowboys got a more solid defense than they faced. They're not going to beat them in their own home. Cowboys are going to handily win this one, I believe. All right, guys. Next Sunday game, we have the New Orleans Saints traveling to Detroit, taking on the Lions. Bryan?
Well, the Lions surprised both you and I this last week when they beat the Cardinals in Arizona. The Saints are coming off of a 2-game losing streak. But, they also can't guard Mike. So, and I mean, we both kind of thought that he was going to play this week, but, him and the Packers, Montgomery was out too. So, I mean, it's just is what it is, I guess. So, I think the Saints should be able to bounce back, hopefully. Otherwise, they're going to start the rumors of, we need to start Jameis, and they don't need that for the Saints. Definitely not. I mean, nothing against Jameis Winston. He was a decent quarterback, but his accuracy and interceptions, I mean, just horrible. And that's the last thing they need in that team. So I still say the Saints will win. I think the Lions got a little bit lucky last week, so I say the Saints win.
Yeah, I mean, they get Michael Thomas back this game, I think for sure. I mean, they played the Packers. It was a high-scoring game. I don't think it led anybody to believe that Drew Brees is fading out. He played very well. A lot of catches in the backfield for Kamara. A lot of people getting extra because they have to make up for their great talent at wide receiver who's back. The Lions, at what you said, surprising win over the Cardinals. But I think the Saints are going to go ahead and take this one. I just think they're just going to pour on too many points that the Lions can't handle and just kind of run away with it, I believe. Okay. All right, so this game on Sunday, we have the Seattle Seahawks traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins. We probably already know who Brian's going to pick. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, I mean, we did, shut down the Jaguars pretty much, and we scored 31 points against their defense. Then again, it's not the fucking Seahawks, and it ain't fucking Russell Wilson that we're playing against. Regardless, they had their running back went down with an injury, and then you have Adams, who I think pulled a groin on defense. So they are banged up. I mean, this would be the prime time opportunity to fucking try to take this win. I think we can hang with them. I think it would be a lot closer score and game that a lot of people are probably saying, the Dolphins are going to get shit stomped or whatever. I don't think we're going to win. So I am taking the Seahawks in this game. I know, shocker. But I just – the way that Russell Wilson's been playing the last 3 weeks, I mean, the dude is just on a – he's – like everyone else is here, and he's fucking way up here right now. So I mean, I can't personally just be like a homer and just be like, no, Dolphins are gonna kick their ass. No, I don't see it. I mean, they have a chance. They definitely have a fucking chance, especially that heat in Miami. That's gonna be a huge factor. They struggled against us the last time they came to Miami, and we beat them right after the fucking sprinkler system fucking was activated, and we ended up beating them after that. But I highly doubt that's going to happen this time. But hey, if I'm wrong, fuck yeah, that's awesome. I'm wrong, But taking the safe bet that the Seahawks are going to win. Back to you.
Yeah, I hate the Seahawks. They are a little banged up, like Brian said, but not near enough to lose to the Dolphins. I thought your secondary was going to be pretty good this year. They're looking pretty lackluster, although you didn't really show it against the Jags because let's face it, it's Jags. But Russ is throwing dimes. He is on the path to becoming the league MVP. His performance will continue, I believe, in Miami, where he'll throw minimum 4 touchdowns. It's either Lockett or whoever, Metcalf. So, yeah, I don't think that it's too far off. I mean, if Chris Carson's out?
Yeah.
So even if he's ruled out, they have the old Carlos Hyde who was from the 49ers. People tend to forget that sometimes that dude can break out and have 100-plus yards rushing in a game. So I look for the Seahawks to win this one. Pretty handedly. I mean, it's not going to be a blowout. Dolphins defense is getting better, but not good enough with old Russ. Okay, next Sunday competition, guys. We have the Minneapolis, Minnesota Vikings traveling to the Houston Texans. Surprisingly, the Texans are 0-3. I didn't really see these guys starting off this bad. Goes to show how much Hopkins makes a difference down there, I guess. This is pretty crazy, but you go ahead and take it away.
Okay. Vikings. Jesus Christ, you nasty bastard. The Vikings, boy, they've been struggling so bad. So freaking bad. Although I would love to see the Vikings win this game just to keep fucking the Texans losing streak intact, so that way they keep going and we get a much higher pick that because we get their first round draft pick this year. So I'd love to see that happen, but I honestly don't think it will. I think the Texans will figure out a way to finally win a fucking game this season. And the Vikings are they're struggling. I don't think they can contain Watson at all. So I say the Texans win by at least 2 touchdowns in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Minnesota lost a lot of players this offseason. Daniil Hunter's on IR. I think he's in a return scene. I don't think he's going to be back for this game. But Justin Jefferson is looking like a pretty solid wide receiver too, as I kind of thought he was going to be. He wasn't showing very much signs in the prior games, but he sure did this last one with over 100 yards receptions and a touchdown. But I don't think that's going to be enough. I think Houston, yeah, I agree with Bryan. I think they finally get a W, and they're going to do it on their home turf against a very weakened Minnesota. That defense they're atrocious. That's all I can really say about that. How they named that tandem in the CBs, the best tandem cornerbacks in the NFL, yet they can't seem to stop anybody from scoring touchdowns and catching top balls. So I think they got a little ahead of themselves, just like I said before.
Okay, jumping back into this, we have the Arizona Cardinals traveling to the Carolina Panthers. Ben, what's your thoughts on the game?
Well, see, considering both had surprising performances last week, Cardinals losing to the Lions and the Panthers somehow pulling out a win against the Chargers. But I'm probably going to go ahead and say the Cardinals are going to come back. They're going to bounce back. They're going to shake off that surprising loss. I think they're going to Carolina. I don't think the defense is going to be strong enough. Of course, I kind of didn't think the Lions' defense wasn't going to be strong enough either. Still, they hardly contain D-Hops in Detroit. They're not going to contain D-Hops in Carolina. Their offense is going to be too much for them. And to touch base on Carolina's offense, the Christian McCaffrey list. I think he's a huge hole in their game offensively, and Cardinals defense is going to be too much for him, and the Cards win.
That's good. I'm going with the same way that you are. I think that the Cardinals are going to be way too much for the Panthers defense to handle, especially without Chris McCaffrey there. I just don't see them being able to put up the points that the Cardinals are able to do. And I think Kyler Murray can pretty much – he's shown so far that he can score, on a dime. So I don't have him winning big, but I'd say at least a couple touchdown win over the Panthers in this game. So. All right, the next game we have the LA Chargers heading all the way down to Tampa Bay Buccaneer Town. Ben, your thoughts on the game?
Well, Tampa Bay hype train. I mean they're loaded offensively. They got a lot of talent in there. Gronk is fucking god awful. I thought he wasn't going to be as good coming in, but I didn't think he's going to be this terrible. He still continues to suck. But I mean, the Chargers are only down Derwin James, but their defense is still looking pretty strong. I look for this to be a close game. I don't know how the Panthers ended up eking out a win, but they did. I think Tampa Bay is going to win. I think they're just more well-rounded, more of a complete team offensively and defensively. Chargers by far better defense, but a better offense because of the addition of Leonard Fournette, and you got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and O.J. Howard is doing pretty well. I think he's capitalizing on the Gronk return. So I think Tampa Bay takes the dub, but it'll be a close one.
All right. Yeah, I kind of can see that too. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, it's still a rookie quarterback in there playing for the Chargers. He kind of was just thrown to the wolves, in a sense because of Tyrod Taylor's injury. I think that he'll have a little bit more success this coming up week over the Buccaneers, but I don't think that they're I think the defense-wise, I think they can contain they contain Tom Brady, but I just think it's going to eventually the defense is going to get worn down because they're going to be on the field a lot longer than the Buccaneers will be. So, so I'm taking the Buccaneers in that one too. It'll be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means. Okay, moving into the next game. The Baltimore Ravens travel to the Washington No-Name Skins. Ben, what can you say about this game?
I mean, the No-Name Skins, they seem like they had a terrible catastrophe off season. They are 1-2, but surprisingly, they seem kind of a better-ish 1-2. I don't know. Maybe because old Riverboat Ron is a good coach, and the Panthers were kind of not very smart in getting rid of him. But the Ravens, yeah, they did lose, but they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. So it was not much of a loss. I mean, it is to them, and it kind of hurts, but it's fucking Chiefs. They're going to the no-name skin land, and they're going to look to bounce back, and what better way to have a better game than to play the no-name skins to get your confidence back up with another W in the count.
Yep, that's a good point. I think the Ravens are going to probably take their aggression out on the Redskins, and I feel sorry for their defense. I think this is going to be a blowout. I think it will be at least 30 to 40 points put up by the Ravens on the Redskins. So it's going to be a bloodbath. So that's my pick. All right, moving on to the next game. We have the New York Giants taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Ben, what's your thought on this game?
Well, I think this is pretty easy choice. But don't be surprised if upsets happen. They tend to happen at left field like last week. But the Giants were embarrassed by my 49ers backups and third stringers. I don't think that they're going to stand much of a chance without Saquon Barkley against the Rams. I think the Rams are just too well-rounded on both sides of the ball, healthier. They got all their starters for the most part. So I'm going to say Rams are going to dominate them and take the dub.
Isn't their running back for the Rams, didn't he go down with an injury on Sunday last week?
Yeah, but they've been splitting carries between three of them anyway. So
okay.
Cam Akers went down. They have Malcolm Brown. They got Darrell Henderson Jr.
Okay.
So they still win games.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they lost.
I wasn't for sure on that one. I mean, it ain't like it really matters. I mean, no offense, because the Giants, I always have respect for you guys. You guys did me a favor twice in both of your Super Bowls by beating those cheating-ass Patriots. So I'll always have love for you motherfuckers. But you're going to get butt raped in this fucking game. I'm telling you right now. I think the Rams, they'll come out and they'll sack Daniels like no other. And I think they're going to be able to just move the ball on you guys like no business. I take the Rams at least 30 points over the Giants. Okay, and now we have the Buffalo Bills traveling to Las Vegas to play the Raiders. Ben, what's your thought on this game?
Well, their first home game, they did a dub against the Saints. Granted, they were Michael Thomasless. They seem more lost without him than we assumed, that everybody assumed. Raiders just looked strong in their home to try to get the first dub at the home. But the Bills are they're on a hype train. They're going forward pretty well. I did predict Josh Allen to be a very well top 10 quarterback in fantasy wise, and he seems to be proving my words right. But it's at home. I think this is one of the upsets I decided to go with. I think the Raiders will play strong at home again. They do have talent with Jonathan Abram, and they do have very strong talent in Josh Jacobs. I think they utilize Josh Jacobs a lot with the run. I think they can open it up. When it's not going to be a dominating fashion, it's going to be a close game because the Bills are very strong on both sides. They're just due to lose one game, and I just had to go with an upset. But the Bills will still be the top contender in the AFC East. So don't look for them to be too well off on their first loss.
Wow, that's crazy. I would say I agree, but I just think the Bills have too much firepower with Diggs coming into the mix. Josh Allen is definitely playing like an MVP contender. Maybe not as high of a level as Russell Wilson is right now, or even Mahomes. I'm sorry. I just think that the Bills have too much firepower for the Raiders to handle. It'll be a close game, but I still say the Bills pull this one off and win in Las Vegas.
I mean, I can't really say that Allen's not in the mix. He is definitely in the mix of the top quarterbacks with Mahomes and with Russ Wilson. He's doing well. And also to go back and rub it in everybody's face about me also saying Stephon Diggs doing be a top 10 wideout in Buffalo, looking pretty strong in that support as well.
I didn't say that he wasn't, in the runnings for MVP. I just said that he's in the runnings, but he's just not as, as high up as Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes.
I'd put him above Patrick Mahomes right now at this point.
Mm.
I mean, this last game that they had was pretty well, but Allen's been throwing 300 plus games, multi TDs, rushing. Well, not multi rushing, but multi passing touchdowns and some rushing. So, I mean, I'd consider Allen doing very well, and I'd put him up there pretty close. It'll be a tight race.
But eventually, good things come to an end, and then we're week 3, now into 4. I think eventually they're going to figure him out, and they're going to eventually stop him. So that's just my take.
Good things come to them, but that could also apply to Russ and Patty Mahomes just as much.
You're right. You're right. And going on to the next game, the New England Patriots go down to downtown Kansas City to play the Chiefs. Ben, what's your thoughts?
Well, being that they went in and handedly beat the Baltimore Ravens, look, it was like embarrassing for the Ravens' first 3 quarters. It kind of looked like they started coming strong at the end a little bit, too little, too late. The Ravens, I think, are a better rounded team than the Patriots, although Bill Belichick seems to find ways. No matter what he finishes with a record, he ends up in the playoffs and somehow keeps going all the way to the championship. But New Kansas City, it's in their home. They're going to continue their streak for now of being undefeated, and they're going to take this one. Back to you, Bryan.
Yeah, I have the same feeling about this game too, and a buddy of mine brought up into my one of my chats, whatever, said that this is pretty much one of the last teams, other than the Saints, that the Chiefs play this season that could give them a loss. I mean, they could go into the playoffs undefeated. That's kind of a scary situation, in my opinion. I'd rather have them than the Patriots ever be undefeated, win a Super Bowl, whatever it may be, anybody than the fucking Patriots. But I still think the Patriots, they'll make it a game, but they ain't going to be able to win in Kansas City. So I got the Chiefs winning maybe by 2 touchdowns. It'll be close, though. All right, then heading to the next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to your San Francisco 49ers. Ben, tell me about your motherfucking team.
Well, I'm a big fan of Niners, and y'all know we've been pretty well banged up. So, but, for my love, I'm not always a homer. But with the way things are going, it's hard to pick against the Niners. Yeah, we have our second strings and third stringers in, but look at the way the Eagles have been playing. At the beginning of the season, if you would have said Niners are banged up, we got our second stringers in, third stringers, all your top guys, Bosa's out, and I'd be like, I would worry for this game for sure. I'd probably pick the Eagles to win. But after seeing how they've been performing in the season, it'll be a close game just because, it's our second stringers. Eagles are going to be a little bit tougher than the Giants and the shitty Jets. But I think we will pull out a win. I don't have much of a lack of confidence in Nick Mullins like a lot of other 49ers fans seem to have. When he came into this game, I was like, I think he'll do good enough. I mean, people tend to forget between him and C.J. Beathard, George Kittle got the yards receiving touchdown record as a tight end. Nick Mullins didn't look too shabby, and he looked at sorts at the beginning part of the game, but he started coming into his own, getting his confidence back. That's going to happen because, he hasn't took a snap in the actual game in over a season. So Jimmy G had the entire last season, so I mean, you can't look for a guy to come out and just fucking like that. But, he got his composure back. He's game ready. I think he's going to come in. Not to mention the fact that we finally get Debo back on the team off of IR. And I finally think that our offensively will be too much for the Eagles.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. That's good that he's back too this week. I don't think they really need him. Maybe I'd start him for maybe half the quarter, or maybe half the game or whatever, and then sit him. Just why risk it if you're going to kill a team anyway? Why risk one of your best receivers possibly getting re-injured to a shitty team? Yeah, I got the 49ers in this one decisively. I think they're going to probably win by at least 3 touchdowns over the Eagles. Eagles at this point, they're giving up on Wentz. I think they're almost all in on Tank for Trevor, in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe I hope that they're not, because they're just going to destroy that kid's career too. They're giving up on the coach. Like, the whole team just seems like they're just like giving up on everything.
I don't foresee them taking for Trevor. They're just going to give the boot the Wentz and give Hurts the keys to the game.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about Hurts, but when do they start Hurts is my question. If Wentz continues to struggle like he has, how many games before they say, you know what, fuck it, put the rookie in, let's see what he can do.
I think if you're losing to the backups defensive players to the Niners, you're going to look to say, hey, get Wentz out of there. I mean, we still are out Richard Sherman to IR. Bose is done for the season. He's out. Solomon Thomas, I mean, he's not much of a loss. I keep talking shit about that guy. But he's out to IR. We're pretty banged up on the defense. So, I would look for teams to be lighting up the scoreboard on us a lot more than they have. But granted, we've had kind of a cake first half of our season, really. I mean, besides the Cardinals. But after the Miami game, shit's going to get a little thick for us if we can't get our starters back.
Oh, no. You better include the Miami game into that fucking thick of the woods.
But we're still going to beat you with that.
We're going to take you motherfuckers to the goddamn woodshed, and you're going to be crying every step.
Your shitty-ass offense ain't doing nothing. Fitz magic is Fitz tragic right now, bud. Fitz tragic right now.
Bullshit.
Your defense ain't going to be enough.
We're going to fins up right up your motherfucking ass, dude.
You better be here. Oh, I guess I have to work. I was going to say, you better be here so you can fucking cry and I can wipe your fucking tears away.
All right, and the final game, which is the Monday night game, we have the Atlanta Falcons, the winless, choking ass motherfucking Falcons, travel all the way up to Green Bay to play the Packers. Ben, what's your thoughts on the Monday night game, and what is your projection score for the total win?
Here we go. Third quarter. Falcons are up 34-6. Shocker, you may have seen. How is this even possible? Against the Packers with Aaron Rodgers lighting it up as the way he is. We're going to see some of the Aaron Rodgers of old where they just couldn't get anything going for like the first 3 quarters, and all of a sudden that dude starts ripping some TDs back in the comeback. Why do I think that's going to happen? Because Atlanta seems to be giving away all their goddamn wins. They're handily ahead, and they just fucking choke it out. But come on. Come on, Matty Ice. Be better than that, buddy. Come on, Julio. Get your shit together. Get 100% so the team doesn't miss you. Yeah. It might not exactly go like that, but the Packers are going to win. I put it as a high-scoring game because Falcons can seem to light up the scoreboard at the start and then shit out the bed for the rest of the game. So I'm going to call this a 38-34 win for the Green Bay Packers. A-Raj, looking back to his first couple game form, getting multi-touchdowns and couple hundred yards, at least 300 yards passing. But yeah, look for Green Bay to take the W. Falcons, get it together.
Sounds good, man. Yeah, I'm pretty much picking the same as you. And you farting ass son of a bitch. I'm taking the Packers big in this one. I say the final score will probably be 45-31 over the Falcons. I just think that they just continue to slide and they just continue to fall apart. And it's just like what happened last season. They'll fucking lose all the good games and then they'll start winning the ones that don't fucking matter anymore because they're too far out of the playoff picture. So I don't understand it. Doesn't make any damn sense to me. I feel bad for Matt Ryan. I think he deserves a lot better, and Julio. It just shit luck, on the Falcons' part. So, with that being said, we want to thank you for watching the Ben and Bryan show. I'm Bryan, and that is...
I'm Ben. And also look for our promo video that we sent out for your chance to win yourself a nifty hats.
We might send you one of our favorite hats. Just in case.
Like, subscribe. We're not going to give you a used Dolphins hat. I'll probably go straight into your garbage. But, yep. Do as I say, watch that promo, share, like, subscribe, comment.
Yep.
Help us get
and
to
if
1,000
you don't have a Facebook account, then you can always we'll end up putting our email address for you to contact us, and we'll let you know how to claim your prize. So, thank you for listening and watching.
The Ben and Bryan Show.
Peace fuck up, everyone. Peace.